Hello, credit union executives. Welcome to See You on the Show, where we give you up-to-date information on how you can reduce risk, keep key talent, and take a strategic approach to your personal financial wellness. Hosted by me, Doug English, a certified financial planner and former credit union insider with ACT Advisors. Welcome to See You on the Show. Today on the show, we have Todd Spiczenski from America's Credit Unions here to talk about GAC 2024. Welcome to See You on the Show, Todd. We're glad you're here.
Thanks, Doug. Appreciate the opportunity. Love talking about our GAC.
We're excited to join you at GAC this year. How many of us are you expecting at GAC?
You know, it's hard to break record year after year, but we are on pace to once again set an attendance record. We're not quite there yet. GAC 2023 was a record attendance year, both from number of credit union attendees, number of credit unions that engaged, and number of vendors that engaged. And right now we are tracking slightly ahead of that same pace last year. So if our last 3 weeks of registration go as they historically do, we will likely be talking about yet another record GAC attendance, which would be in the 5,500, pushing 6,000 total attendance range.
Excellent. Part of what we're doing is to try to build some excitement around GAC and help our very important group to get to the amount of us to really impact the folks on the Hill and make sure they hear our united voice. With that, the merger of NAFCU and CUNA, of course, creates a lot more scale. And in that, how are we going to experience that sense of scale at GAC? Where are we going to notice things are the same? Where are we going to notice things are different? Tell us about number of sessions or number of exhibitors, any of those things.
One of the really cool things about GAC, as we were talking about, is the number of credit union advocates that show up there. So we're tracking to have the largest number, as I said, that we've ever had. We will leverage those folks in a variety of different ways. You know, the primary reason we're there in DC is to advocate on behalf of the credit union movement and on behalf of credit union issues. So there will be hill hikes and many of the things that are kind of the foundational of GAC. But some new things that are really, I think, if you're the savvy GAC veteran returning, you're going to notice these things. First and foremost, we're going to have a new MC. Mia Perez, who is a credit union rock star, is going to be our new MC. She'll be kind of the face of GAC in our general sessions. We were looking to make a change from our previous MC, Antonio Neves, who did a fantastic job. And the merger and the transformation to America's Credit Unions felt like the right time to bring in a fresh face to our GAC stage. So that's first and foremost. If you're a veteran of GAC, you're going to go, wait, that's not Antonio. That's Mia. Mia Perez is a rock star. She's a CAO at Coastal Credit Union. So if the name sounds familiar, that's why. She's one of us. And she has done some MC work for councils in the past, and we are really excited to have her involved. Another thing that you'll notice that'll be new and different, we're leveraging the power of the two associations, is an expanded and improved welcome center. That's what we would traditionally call a registration area. You're going to see a much stronger new advocacy-focused space within that welcome center. Our GAC Live on-air experience is going to be held right next to that welcome center. And there's also a new media center that's across from the welcome center. So when you walk into the convention center, again, if you're that savvy veteran, you're going to go, hey, this is really cool. This looks a little bit different than maybe what I remember last year. And you're going to see that visually. And then the idea and the strategy around that is to make that area kind of the hub of the event. If you're not in the exhibit hall or the general session, there's something going on down in the Welcome Center and Media Center that you can engage with. Speaking of the general session, when you walk in there, you're not just going to see a new person on the stage. The entire stage design is going to be different than what you've experienced in the past. I think it's going to feel like you're closer to the stage. It will feel more interactive. And I think attendees will feel like they're even closer to those keynote speakers and those general session speakers than they have in the past. We're also being very intentional about making those sessions more interactive and engaged. So it's a long time to be sitting in those sessions. We want to make sure that you're listening to the messages that are being shared, and we're doing so in an interactive way, which is better use of our video boards in there, things that we're doing within the audience itself that will create some excitement and engagement. And then lastly, I would say there's a lot of changes, as you can tell. We're going to have larger and more breakout sessions than we've ever had before. So we've had the opportunity to grow the GAC over the years. We've expanded our physical footprint there, where we've added another layer of meeting rooms and breakout rooms. And some of those rooms can hold more and more attendees. And then we're trying to be smart about putting those breakout sessions that draw the most attendees, match them in those rooms so that we're not struggling and challenged with space and standing room only scenarios. That's a lot in a nutshell of what's kind of new and changing with GAC.
Yeah, let me ask you a couple of questions. So in the advocacy center that is going to be in the hub of the entry into GAC, what activities can attendees expect to take part in the advocacy center?
Great question. Well, we're going to still talk about it as our welcome center, so to speak, but there'll be an advocacy focus in there, Doug. And what folks will be able to do is they can go there to learn more about the PAC, and they can make their PAC contributions. There's usually a strong call out at our GAC about contributing to the PAC. That will be focused within that welcome center. You'll have the opportunity to meet the credit union lobbyists from all over the country. So whether it's a state lobbyist or a federal lobbyist, there will be access to those folks so you can actually see the people that are the professional lobbyists and maybe learn some tips of the trade on how better to talk to your legislator and elected official in there. So that'll be going on in addition to, hey, that's where you'd go to register. That's where you might go to connect with somebody and network with another attendee or another peer. Those events were usually scattered throughout GAC. The idea was to put it in kind of this one-stop shop area for all things advocacy.
Great. Well, that makes a lot of sense. Now, how about the exhibitors? That exhibit hall is gargantuan, right? There's an incredible amount of vendors in there. Have you hit an all-time high on the vendors number as well?
I don't know how we did, Doug, because as you know, that thing has been sold out wall to wall for the last couple of years, but we are at an all-time high in the number of vendors that will be exhibiting. And we restructured that hall a little bit. It's the same physical footprint. In the past, we've had 2 theaters within that exhibit hall. We took one of those theaters out, so it